Hey. Welcome to Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Tottenham. We are having an absolutely amazing review today. Tottenham just ended up beating Sheffield United 2-1 at the White Hart Lane. Oh, did I say White Hart Lane? Sorry. I mean, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And what a match. What a match. Chuma will join me on the other side to review this. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. The technology there. For some reason it's gone off. Anyway, yes, I was saying that Chuma was going to join us. I think he's running a little bit late as well. Everything's going wrong today, as you can imagine. But hey, I think the key for us is what you might call a low block and just kept preventing Tottenham getting through. It was just one of those matches. It's like, guys, don't panic. But it's like 7 minutes, and what? About 80 minutes, I think. Got about 10 more minutes to go before full time whistle goes, and yeah, I mean, we come up with two goals in stoppage time, and amazing scenes. Why? Because Richarlison, the much derided Richarlison, came up with the goods at the right time, scoring one and assisting for the second goal. I mean, the roof came down, and we'll discuss all the intricate details in due course. But if you're joining us for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. Leave your comments, leave your likes, share this, and of course join the conversation. It's interactive, and yeah, we'll very much love to hear from you. Yeah, so for now, I'm here alone for the moment while we wait for the others to join us. But join the conversation. Your thoughts and comments are absolutely most welcome. Yes, let's just get right into it. Um, I mean, typical, isn't it? It says, you says it seems some of the fans on the other channels are upset that Richarlison has done well. I'm surprised. I mean, you think he plays for another team. I mean, here's a player who was paid quite a lot of money for. You'll expect that we'll be pleased he's doing well. I mean, I'm surprised that's happened to you. But hey, that's fans for you. Some people choose or find a way to be negative. I mean, if I was reading some of the reports, post-match reports, well, earlier on, and one of them had this caption about, "Oh, Richard has only scored two goals in 92 or something, or 32 appearances." And I'm thinking to myself, is this where you want to sort of highlight that? I mean, not highlight the fact that he's come on, made a huge impact, and made a difference in a match that we were, I mean, we could have lost, or at best, I mean, we would have drawn. But I mean, came on and just turned the whole thing around in the most dramatic fashion. I mean, if you haven't seen that match, go and watch it on Match of the Day tonight, and you see how the whole drama unfolded. I mean, maybe the match there may not necessarily show you about the drama, but it tells you a lot about Ange and the spirit that the team is showing. I mean, I thought today we showed a lot of spirit. I mean, coming back from one goal down, that sort of match could have deflated anyone, and sort of, coming up and come up with the goods in the last dying seconds of the match. I mean, just epitomizes character. Epitomizes that's resilience that you want to find in teams. Some people might criticize and say, "Oh, it's only Sheffield United." You can either choose to capitulate or try and rebound. And the way they were playing, the keeper was, I mean, he made blocks, and the fine, we didn't really test him a lot, but he did make a few important saves as well. So yes, I mean, can't please anyone. Yeah, keep your comments coming. This is Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. All right, Tottenham 2, Sheffield United 0. sorry, Sheffield United won. I mean, the first half we had everything. All of the possession. We pounded them and we attacked and attacked and attacked, but we just couldn't seem to break them down. And I thought this would have had the same operation in the second half, but for whatever reason they didn't. We just couldn't break them down. And they get a corner, or sorry, it was first a corner, and then it went for a throw on the far right hand side. I mean, away to where the fans, in front of the fans, and long throw from Robinson, I think, and it fell to Hammer, and Hammer rifled it home. I mean, great finish. Vicario had no chance, so yes, I mean that put them 1-0 up, but it just sort of underlined the sort of character that we needed to have shown in that sort of situation. I think Chuma is joining us now. Let me just see if I can ask him to join. In that sort of situation, I mean, we dug deep. We didn't sort of let our heads drop, and we just sort of got on with it. And I mean, lo and behold, we got our rewards in the end. I mean, there was a lot of time wasting, and I think the referee, I mean, I'm not sure he had a lot of control on the match. I mean, we'll see how that happens, And yeah, I mean, it's one of these things that, look, on a good day, maybe we'll have won with more than a couple of goals, but today just wasn't one of those days that would have happened, I think Chuma is having difficulty connecting, or is it your lighting that's not correct? Let's have a look. Is that okay? Let's have a look. I think I have him on. Just bear with me 1 second. Your room is dark, I think. I'm not sure if it's your room that's dark. Let's have a look and see if we can get Chuma on board. Bear with me, everybody. Yeah. Let's have a look. See how we can get Chuma going on this. Where are we? There we go. Right, Chuma, can you hear
Can you hear
us?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. So yeah, you're live. So yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you joined us a bit late, and that's okay. We'll let you off.
I'm. Yeah.
It's that hay fever season,
Um.
is it?
Yeah. I hit something. I had dust on it, and it hit me. And then, in the course of celebrating, shouting, and the thing just flared everything up.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that.
No,
But
no,
hey,
no, no, no. It's the consequences of celebrating Angeball. I don't mind. I'm willing to stick that hit.
I know I mean, today's one match when you're really happy to be a Spurs fan. I was saying to people before you came on that look,
Yeah.
we, on paper it seemed like a walkover of a victory. We were just go in there, swat them over, and then I mean score a few goals and we'll relax, But it
Yeah.
turned out to
Yeah.
be a much more difficult match than we expected it to be. In terms of the way they set themselves up, the way they kept putting in blocks and just preventing clear-cut opportunities to arise.
I give their manager a lot of. I give him a lot of praise because every score prediction was 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 that we're going to just ride them. And like you said, they came in and they set up really, 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 really deep, low block. And then it wasn't just that, it was the passion which they like took it upon themselves to block everything moving. Like but funny enough, like before the game started, someone I know tweeted that he's not happy with the lineup. That in this particular game, that you need a Perisic and you need a Richarlison. He says because they're going to be sitting low. You need a crosser, direct crosser, and a guy who can head.
We can
Yeah,
hear you loud and clear. Yeah, we can. We can hear you.
yeah. So I laughed at the guy when he said that you need a Perisic and you need a Richarlison, and I was like, come on, And then the game started, and it was just Manu Solomon kept cutting into his right foot. It was just one of those games, like you said. It just I was in and out of the first half. I wasn't really watching as intently because but I kept going to so I was trying to watch different matches at the same time because I had vested interest in the Manchester United Brighton game because I predicted Brighton would flush them. And I was so interested in that game. I was like, Spurs is a done deal. Let me watch the Brighton Man United game. So I was in and out. But all I kept seeing was I was seeing the score and I was like, what's this thing still 0-0? Then I was looking at the stats and I'm seeing like Spurs had like 7 shots on goal, 6 on target. I'm like, what's going on? I said, okay, the dam will break. And when it breaks, we'll just load them. Next minute, it gets to halftime and it's 0-0. That's when I started taking the game seriously. I was like, okay, second half, I'm going to be in this game. And it was just, my God, an impregnable wall. Like they kept defending, defending. And at the back of my mind, I said, if these guys do a smash and grab, it will be quite interesting. Lo and behold, 73rd minute, long throw. We don't clear to the first header. The ball bounces. Next chance, Hammer just gets a chance and wham, goal. And I was like,
hammers it in.
and hammers it in. Exactly. No pun intended. You know?
I know, right?
And it's like, you're just saying to yourself, wait, is this happening? I said, okay, even if they score 1, we'll score 3. And then you're just seeing us wave after wave after wave, trying to put the ball in the box. And then I think someone wrote online that, bloody hell, Ange, make some subs, man. And nothing was happening. But Ange made the subs at the right time. And we get to the 12 minutes. He now starts bringing in his guys. I'm like, this guy is he going for it? Let's see. If we can get a draw, I just didn't want us to lose heading to the North London derby because I think that would have made us too desperate to try to overcome the fact that we'd lost and the curse. And once again, we've gotten over our hoodoos. 12:30 kickoff, manager of the month, player of the month. I was like, they were just being set up to fail here.
No. We'll come to all of that. We'll come to all of that one by one because I mean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like we'll come to all of that one by one because if you look at all of the statistics and how things pan out, people will say, "Oh, we're not gonna do well. We're not gonna," and I mean, you have this hoodoo, and once you win the what's the word, player of the month or sorry, manager of the month, the next game,
you lose.
You end up losing, and it's almost like downhill after that, And I mean that's been broken now, and we had that little hoodoo as well. So anytime we kicked off early, we always tended to lose our matches, And
Exactly.
Ange has managed to sort of overcome those little village people things, right?
From a Nigerian standpoint,
I don't know.
For those of you who are not quite familiar with Nigerian form of Christianity, there's this thing where we're quite obsessed with called generational curses. And if Spurs are anything, Spurs carry a huge generational curse of different things that add up. They sum up to the whole of why Spurs have never won. And we also say the word village people, and today was like village people plus generational curses because you're like, oh my God, this is the team we should beat. Where we've been put down to beat even our enemies.
With so much ease,
Even our enemies have put us down to win. I remember Martin Keown said it himself that grudgingly he says that Spurs will flush them 3-0. I was like, this is too good to be true. Even Martin Keown is agreeing that we're playing well. Let's see what's going to happen next. And I'll be honest with you, like when I saw that 12 minutes, I think I put on the group like, oh wow, 12 minutes. I think Uncle Ivy put down there, they're giving us 12 minutes. Come on, guys, like we can still do this. I was like, I put on the yes emoji there, but I wasn't really feeling. I said, okay, we can get a draw. And there's just something about it, and who else but Richarlison? Like, the man,
it was like in the start, wasn't it?
It's really, it's like literally, and I know some of our viewers are not Christian, but in a Christian setting, Jesus is the curse that broke the curse. The cursed player is Richarlison, the most cursed player in Spurs right now. Even for Brazil, he finally gets off the mark and it's offside, and I was like, oh bloody hell, man, And the most cursed player breaks the curse of the loss.
I know,
And
right?
then not only that, he sets up the last goal for the second most cursed player, Kulusevski. Everyone was shouting that Kulusevski should have been taken off.
I know, I know, I know. And then on top of that,
So,
lo and behold, Kulusevski scores with his right foot.
and he
Unbelievable.
scored with his right foot as well, which we've been screaming, bloody hell, boy, cross with your right, man. Cross with your right foot, stop cutting to your left. And he scores, and then he also scores playing as a number 8, not as a wide player. So it's all these things have come together in one game. I'm just so happy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, it's I mean, I was watching the match and I was thinking to myself, we can't even afford to draw this match, you know? Not even like talk of losing. And then it becomes like, I mean, 90 minutes and I'm thinking going to stoppage time and we still haven't scored, you know? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know? And Richie scores that header. I mean, the whole place went absolutely. I thought there's still time for them to win. You know, there's still time to win.
I
And
was okay with the point. I was okay with the point, and I was like, we got the point. Finally, let's just keep it calm and they went for the win. You know,
oh,
if you're
but
talking of a mindset shift,
yeah,
and ironically, I don't know if you watched the game earlier on, the Liverpool versus Brighton. Yes, you did. So
yeah,
we were chatting
Liverpool
about
and
it that
Wolves.
you remember Cunha missed gilt egg chances they missed, and we kept saying these chances will cost you in the end.
Yeah,
All the time wasting Sheffield United did contributed to the 12 minutes additional time. They
exactly.
kept wasting time. Their keeper would lay down on the ball, be injured, and wasting time. And it just added to the 12 minutes. So karma is real in football. Is real. They contributed to their own downfall.
Did you say karma is real?
Yeah, karma is real. No, karma, it is for them. You know,
Absolutely real.
they
Absolutely
they
real.
actually
You know.
they kept wasting time. They kept doing all these things. Their keeper was laughing at the end of the game. Like there was a cross that came in and he managed to get there ahead of Richarlison and he took it further and he started smiling at his teammates like, yeah, we've got this in the bag. It was a bit arrogant. I looked at the guy, I said, well, anyway, I don't blame you. You're leading. We're heading into the 90th minute. I don't blame you really. And it's just, he took off the people as well. Took off
I'd
Poro,
love to
took off
hear from
Son.
their manager after this match and see what he has to say for himself. You know. Especially the fact that they were 1-0 up with okay 12 minutes to go. It's still a long time in the match, but it's like closing minutes. You can see out the game in theory, and given that
Yeah.
they seen it as far as 80 minutes or so, 90 minutes without conceding, and kind of all of their tactics were working, and ours just didn't seem to work. I mean, it was really 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 nice.
It's kind of funny. Like they did a smash and grab, and we did a smash and grab in extra time.
I know,
so,
I know, I know. It's
so it's reverse smash and grabs. Beautiful.
keep your
But
comments coming in. This is Common Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. Someone said earlier on that what's the word? Uh, Richarlison who seems to be like the subject of negative comments, if you like, or negative vibes from the press. I'm thinking to myself, well, not from the press, from other blogs and other Spurs forums as
yeah,
well. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, why would you be so negative about your own player? I mean, it's doing a great job. But, well, I mean, he hasn't scored a lot as he should have. But hey, he's there for us to he's there. I mean, but if we look at it, why I don't know what is it about fans and negativity? I don't get it.
I don't get it as well because it's like he's he's going through a rough time. We all know he's going through this very rough time. He's having personal issues as well. It's now emerged that there are personal issues. It's gone beyond football now. Something's happened to him in his family and with regards to his finances or his loved ones. So he's going through a lot. And he's come out and said it. But something about this that actually got me was when I saw him play for Brazil in that second game, not the first
Mm,
game where he was crying, but the second game, I saw he was kind of resilient. And also, for me, I'm one of these guys, I'm one of these fans that when I see players who are very flashy or flamboyant, when they sort of humble themselves or change something about themselves, I know that they're going to do something like Ronaldo, the Brazilian, when he cut his hair in that very strange way in the World Cup.
yeah.
he was mentally saying, I don't care about my appearance, I'm going to score goals. When Richarlison took off the dye from his hair, the blonde dye, and just went back to his normal haircut, I said, he's going back to basics. And this guy is going to score. That's what I said in my head. And when he scored for Brazil and he even disallowed it, I said, at least he got into that position. Excuse me. So I'm grateful. I'm
Yeah,
grateful for that. So
if
watching him, I understand why they hate him. You always have to pick a pantomime villain, and right now he's the guy, but we're all in this together, and I think he's going to contribute so much. And lo and behold, he's off the mark. We
he is
wanted
on the
him off
mark.
the mark he got off the mark in the cup. He's off the mark in the league now.
Yep. So it's 2
Let's see
goals
where
this
he
season
goes.
so far. So
Yeah.
not a bad return, Right. Let's just have a look at how the teams lined up first for a minute. You want to just take us through the lineups for a minute? I think you see the legend there. We set up more or less similar to how we set up in the match against Burnley. So
Yeah.
no difference as such. I mean, and you expect that
Yeah.
with this sort of setup, we will be all over them. I mean, like a rush. I mean, do you want to sort of talk us through a little bit of the of both teams, how both teams set up?
So we set up in the same thing, 4-3-3, exactly the same as we set up against Burnley, with Bissouma, Sarr, and Madison in midfield. Fun. What I observed though was kind of like, I thought Bissouma was a bit off par in that first half, or they targeted Bissouma.
Yeah.
It's more they targeted Bissouma because they realized Bissouma is the engine, and Bissouma found it kind of difficult to ride their challenges and spin. So he was playing very safe passes in the first half. But by the second half, Bissouma became more himself and became more expressive. But yeah, we had this exact same team. They, on the other hand, they lined up in a 3-5-2 that was more a five. It was a back five, and they were just looking to stay deep, be compact. They let us have the wings, but they blocked off the center. And it was a case of, right, if you can, let's see if you guys can play through us. And since our wingers were both inverted guys, Solomon from the left using his right foot, Kulusevski from the left using his from the right using his left foot, they are coming back into the center, which these guys had crowded out. But we still fashion chances. So their team, looking at their team now, this is a championship side. There's nobody here that's like a really, really great like elite player or anything like that. But they are well drilled. I think their manager deserves a lot of credit. They have defensively, they will cause some teams problems defensively with their defensive shape. It was really good. They were very, very well drilled today.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the way they sort of made it so difficult for us, with not with the numbers they had in middle of the park, and the fact that they had this two chaps stood out for me in their team, that chap called Robinson and Mickey Thomas, and McBurn as well. McBurn, okay, he was sent off at the end. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I thought he kind of did his center forward work as well as he could,
Very well.
given the amount of pressure that he was put under. But what I still find really, really pleasing, the way we set up and we play, is the fact that we hardly ever give any quarter, especially when we have
Yeah.
our foot on their throats, for one of the better expression, and you have where we have them on the back foot, and they just can't seem to get out. We just, they just,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
no transition allowed. It's like, we're here and we're here to sort of stifle you, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's so pleasing how you sort of, create that dominance of play, especially in the middle of the park. And I mean, what I couldn't quite deal with a lot was the fact that we kept having the referee just brandishing cards. I didn't think the game was that sort of
Yeah.
game whereby,
Yeah. The referee wrecked the game. A lot of people complain. If you go online, quite a lot of people complain about the referee. He really spoiled the flow of the game. And he just kept on dishing out cards. And if you turn around, even Richarlison got a card because right at the end he ran through the ball, and I think they blocked him off, and he turned around and thought he got a corner. And he turned around and raised his hand, and the guy gave him a card. I'm like, dude, like the game is over. But and then I think he missed the trip on Son. Sonny had the trip, the penalty claim, and I looked and I said, that could have been,
Well, I mean, I think the one that was more blatant, if you ask me, was the one of Richard of if you look at the let's just have a quick look at the officiating all over, right? There's an incident in the first half where for me it was
Yeah,
a nil on penalty
yeah,
on Madison,
on
where
Madison, yeah,
I mean all the replays showed that the guy stepped on Madison's foot, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. But he didn't check on it.
how he was didn't get it, how he didn't even go to VAR review is just I don't see how that was not a penalty. It was plain and obvious, you know.
It's one of those things they do.
So I mean, if the game had turned on those sort of things, you think they say, okay, fine, those sort of decisions don't go for you. I mean, I think in the past well, I'm not again it's early days, match day 5 season, you know, we've won I don't know 3 matches so far, lost 1, and then we'll come up into this match thinking, okay, fine, one sort of consolidate on the stuff we've done so far, and
Yeah,
so far it looks like that consolidation is ongoing. But when you come across decisions like what happened today, and you think to yourself, oh gosh, you know, this thing can turn out to sort of affect us down the line. But I love how we didn't let it affect us. We just got on with it, you know? We just got on with it.
yeah.
And that for me is a sign of resilience, a sign of, what we have as a team now. I mean, it was just a show of really solid mentality. The way we came up today, I was really, really proud of the boys. Really proud of the boys, you know?
No, that is the that never was exactly it. It was a case of 102 minutes. You're still going. You're still trying to find answers. And my gosh, they were still trying to find answers. They were still trying. I was like, and I was so happy that they just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And I was like, even 1-1, like I said, I felt at 1-1, come on, let's just shore it up. No, Ange doesn't settle for 1-1. Ange continues going on. And I think today was a like what I was trying to point out with the Wolves match was there was that header that Cunha missed,
Yes.
right? And I
Yeah,
wrote there that was a turning point in the game.
absolutely.
This match is a turning point in Spurs, and many people may not. We may end up losing some other games later on down the line, but there was something about this game that would have been quote unquote Spursy, as they call us and call it. That Spurs are on good form, only for Spurs to lose. I think if you read, there's an article on the Guardian that just came out about the game. The guy goes, Spurs are on a good run. Spurs win manager of the month. So you know what's going to happen, right? Spurs will always spoil that by losing. Or will they? This match has shown that they are
No, they
made of
won't.
different stuff. And
Absolutely.
exactly. So this is the thing. So this to me, I think what's happened today, if the players didn't believe, they're going to start believing today.
Absolutely. We said that
And
earlier, didn't we, about Bissouma this season, didn't we? And
yeah,
when you talked about that TV, what was that? Was it Matrix?
yes. It's all about yes, about believing.
About belief, right? You know.
It's about belief. Yes, you get to the point. Neil has started to believe. They know this game gets them to know, and we can't stress how important it was. It's not even the fact that it was Sheffield United. You can't rock up to a North London derby with a loss behind you, especially a
Absolutely.
loss at home. If
Yeah.
this was away, we were the favorites and we came through. We got the 3 points and we played well. Like I'm looking at the stats here. The stats are I'm looking at the stats on the game. We had 70% possession full game, 28 shots on goal, 10 shots on target,
Oh yeah.
16 corners. That is seven. We had is it 352 passes or so, twice the number of passes or 3 times the passes they made. That is ridiculous.
It's
And I don't think we've ever been in a position like this at Spurs in years, where 28 shots on goal. We've never
truly,
had we've
truly,
never had it
truly,
like this.
truly remarkable. Truly remarkable.
So,
Yeah. Right. So we we lost the first half. We're thinking that okay, fine, we'll come out in the second half and hopefully, more of the same. But they seem to have maybe I don't know if we took our foot off the pedal a little bit or just sort of Sheffield United got a little bit into the game, but we just didn't have the same sort of intensity that as we had in the first
Yeah,
half.
we became complacent. There was a chance early on in the second half. Kulusevski cut in and gave it to Solomon, and Solomon blazed it. That was a good chance. That could have been a good chance to score, but Solomon blazed the chance. And after that, we just got complacent. Just kept doing the passes. It wasn't like the word I think is intention. It didn't look like we were very intentional about creating that chance. And then they got that chance in the 70th minute, and next thing you know, the cat's amongst the pigeons, and everyone is thinking in their heads, like everyone is just thinking in their heads, oh my goodness, are we about to go Spursy? Like everyone had the same thoughts online. Wow, manager of the month curse, manager of the month curse, manager of the month curse, manager of the month curse. It was too good to be true. And all of us started reverting to type. I mean, I have to give the manager and the players so much credit because what they're doing right now is even the fan base now we're looking, going, what's going on here right now? Like, what are we really seeing? Because everyone says early doors is 5 days, but I think it's from the foundations that you know how a building is going to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So these
And
are these are
what
things. I
we've
think
seen
we've
so
got a
far
comment
is
already.
very, very encouraging. You know, I mean, Omanikai says he totally agrees with you that this match is a turning point for Spurs going forward. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's like you just know some situations just are defining moments. I think this defines us in terms of resilience, in terms of that philosophy that you can see that Ange is trying to sort of foster team. And okay, granted, it's early days, and it's still, you really don't know how things are gonna pan out down the line and all that sort of thing. But you can see the steps and the seeds being sown. Both in the formation, in the way, the attitude as well. You don't see heads drop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, I thought the changes were just spot on. I mean, especially when I mean, brought on Perisic, brought on
Perisic and Richarlison. Yeah.
yeah, British Richarlison and Bernard Johnson. Bernard
Yes.
Johnson scores a goal. Okay,
He
thank for
scored
the
the
offside.
goal. I was like, yeah, but it was such quick thinking from Basuma as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like when I went in, I just said, "Oh wow, debut goal, wonderful! This is all we ask for." And he caused them problems. He allowed Kulusevski go inside as well, so he could be out,
exactly,
and
exactly.
it was quite good. And just these little things you got from this game, and you just looked at it and said, "Oh, this is like we're saying this turning point." Players not letting their heads drop, still looking for the option for the forward pass. The second goal, the Kulusevski winner, you had Destiny still foraging forward. And then 1-2, Højbjerg gets involved, Perisic gets involved. Then Richarlison breaks into the box. Two guys follow him, and he just lays it off. And in my head, I thought Kulusevski miscontrols. I'm like, oh, dude, you've miscontrolled. You've lost the opportunity. Because I was thinking, dude wanted to get it on his left
On
foot. I
left
was like,
foot.
oh, you missed the chance to get on your left.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he just said, you know what, I'm going for it to my right. And lo and behold, it's like,
Bang, and bang. I mean that. I just went absolutely mad here. I went
and and
absolutely
and and, and,
nuts.
and, and, and I went crazy, but I was watching the crowd. The crowd went completely bananas. I've
Absolutely
never heard
bananas.
sounds like that
You know,
on my TV
you
from
know when you
from
hear
from Tottenham.
on TV scenes at Tottenham, scenes.
And then do you know what's actually quite interesting? Where have you seen this before? Leicester v Tottenham. The exact same thing. At the last minute, Steven Bergwijn scores that first
Exactly,
goal. We're happy
exactly,
for the draw. And then Steven Bergwijn breaks through. And this was the same
exactly.
way the crowd went mad.
Yeah,
And we're away fans then. This is the home version of it.
of that.
Everyone, I'm sure drinks were flying. It was that deep.
Yes, it's
Yeah, this is
phenomenal,
I,
phenomenal.
and I'm enjoying it more because two things, the Manchester United, I predicted that result. I'm happy with that. I predicted the Liverpool West Ham, the Liverpool game against Wolves. I said it. Wolves will lose 3-1 if they don't score after scoring the first goal. But my best one today, and this is to my friends and family members that are West Ham fans. I'm so sorry. You know, you guys got served. West Ham, you got served by City. And I'm enjoying every minute because when you were 1-0 up, people were running your mouths. And when Spurs went 1-0 down, you were talking to me. So West Ham, family, friends, God bless you all. I love you. You got served.
Why does that sound like fake love, yeah?
Oh, it's real love. It's real love. It's London love. They started thinking they become top dogs in London. Sorry. That's not how you earn it. Sorry.
There was this little skit on, I think it was Instagram, I saw it, about trophy hunters, I think, you know.
Oh my goodness.
That was so funny. That was so funny.
Even West Ham.
I know,
Even
right?
West Ham got something. Yeah. I've seen that. But it was this is like, you know, it's like I would like to watch this game without the emotion. So I'm going to watch the game later on today. I'm going to watch it without any emotion because also another thing is like I this is just my personal thing. I think Harry Kane scored a goal for Bayern Munich yesterday. I was like, every time this guy scores or they win, you know, it's another news item or narrative about the fact he's left, he's doing well in Bayern Munich. But I said, you know what? It's actually spurring us to do, you know, greater things here as well. So, you know, we everyone said Harry Kane has left. You guys are not going to score any goals. Lo and behold, we are the third highest scorers as of tonight, behind only Man City and Brighton. Chelsea and Manchester United and all these teams that they said are way better than Spurs, way ahead in their project, blah, blah, blah. You know, no disrespect to them. They may still come and do whatever. I'm just saying,
Oh,
as
well,
of today,
early days for, I mean, for whatever.
early days, but we're still scoring goals. We're seeing players that didn't contribute goals a lot last season scoring. Richarlison has scored. Kulusevski scored more than once. Son has scored. Our forward line has scored virtually. Okay, apart from Solomon, you know, but we're there. We're just there, and it's a long may it continue. You know, long may it continue. But midfield one, I thought Bissouma got on the ball in that end part of the game. Bissouma just started coming.
He just started coming. He was showing his attacking side. You know,
his attacking side of him. Yeah, and that's why I think it was important for someone like Højbjerg to come on.
Yes,
it allows him.
I love that change when because in my head I was thinking Højbjerg coming on. Who's he going to take off? He took off a defender. I thought that was absolutely masterful.
He took off Van de Ven. Yeah. So he was literally saying to the team, "I'm only going to have like one center back, proper center back. You guys work out how you're doing. There's no shape, but just go for it.
Let's just go
protect
for it.
the ball.
Just go for it. Basically, I mean, nothing to lose. You know, nothing to lose.
And they just camped on their own half or their own box, thinking, yes, that we just hold out. No, you can't hold out because there were so many combinations going on. But my God, the minute we scored, and I think this is a testament to Ange's philosophy. Wherever we are now, the minute we score your team, I think whichever opponent we have, the minute we score, I think they're going to be scared we'll score another one. This is all psychological now.
Let's just get some quotes from Ange post match. I think he's speaking on match of the day, and he says that look, awesome. He was talking about Richarlison. He says, look, there's some real resilience and spirit within the group, right, already, which is great to see because there are days like this. It helps feel relief for us to grow, and our supporters have had an unforgettable day, and all those things help in what we're trying to do. And Richarlison's impact says we've got to maintain a balance in life, and even for him, he needs to understand that his football is still good. He's a fantastic footballer. He's got so much to give, and that can help ease the burden he's feeling in other parts of his life, like so many of us. I'm really pleased for him. I thought he did really well. We were obviously chasing the goal and getting some balls in the box, and was always a threat in the air. That tells you is that this man's tactical nose.
Oh.
I think
and emotional intelligence as well, to know to praise the player, to not get his head down. Oh, awesome.
Exactly. That's really delightful. How did Man United do today? Do you know? Can anybody tell us? I'm just wondering. I don't know if anyone has the scores. I mean, let's just go through some of the scores for matches for today. So Wolves obviously lost to Liverpool
Yeah.
earlier in the game. Earlier in the day, 12:30 kickoff at home to Liverpool. They led by one goal.
Sorry for interrupting. By the way, Jurgen Klopp came out and complained about the 12:30 game.
Already,
But
because it was.
I bet he's not complain. I bet he's not complaining now. He got the 3 points. I love you, Klopp. But yeah, it's a bit too much.
Absolutely. Now, so Aston Villa beat Crystal Palace 3-1.
3-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson, get better. Roy Hodgson was taken ill yesterday,
Oh,
so
get well
he
soon,
wasn't
Roy.
on the bench.
And Fulham beat Luton 1-0.
Wow.
And Manchester United, what's going on there? I mean, Man U 1, Brighton 3. What happened there?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And of course, West Ham uh, lost at home to City 3-1. And the fact that the kickoff is still 0-0 between Newcastle and Brentford. Right, that's a summary of the results for this for today's so far. I know some pictures for tomorrow. I think Chelsea are playing tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then who else is playing tomorrow? Brentford are playing, aren't they?
No, Brentford are playing now.
Oh, Brentford are playing now. Sorry, Bournemouth, and Chelsea and Everton and Arsenal. Right, that's the one. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Everything after. Yeah.
So hopefully, I know we know what we want those matches to turn out, don't we? we know how we wanted to turn out. Right.
It's and the most important thing is looking at the league table as well. Tottenham have played these matches. Tottenham are unbeaten after 5 games, so this is our best start since 1966 or 67.
Are you serious?
I'm not quite sure. Our best start to a league. We've always lost within the first 5 games.
Wow.
Always lost since the 60s. So this is huge for us. Scoring, I think 13 goals or 14 goals, and then conceded 5. And
So
yeah,
City remain the only
it's
team
just
with
looking.
100% record so far this season. 5 wins out of 5.
And this was a weakened City team. They've had some injuries, so and then Pep. This is him back in the dugout for the first time in 2 games after his back surgery. So it's. I mean, we're just Spurs fans will say we're taking it game by game, but we're really we're loving Big Ange. We're really loving this guy, and rival fans are watching us with you know they can, of course, they'll say the same thing. You guys have won nothing. You guys are out of the League Cup and all that. But somewhere in the back of their minds, they're wondering, what if Spurs this year? What if? And that's all we want. What if?
No, it's absolutely fantastic outcome for us. I mean, I love the turnaround. I love the fact that it was Richarlison. I mean, it was almost like some sort of fairy tale, because
Oh,
it's like, I mean,
completely.
you couldn't make it up, Everyone's on his back. Richarlison's not scoring goals. He's not contributing. I had one of my guests on the show the other day, and there was this shot that I was shot about him. He was saying that Richarlison can't be taught how to be a good player anymore. It's just, it's fundamental.
Oh,
It's fundamental that he just can't improve, And it's come up and pop up with the goals today. If you're listening today, I'll tell Cockerell. It'd be interesting for us to hear your comments on Richarlison today. And David Clark. What happened to David Clark today? We haven't seen him today. I hope everything's all right with you. Yeah, we look forward
now I
to
hope
him.
everything's good.
Yeah,
Now he's probably out enjoying. They're probably out all celebrating the win, because
absolutely.
you have to understand, like, if we were there at the stadium, we'd probably be getting blitzed on pints at the moment, because this was such a nerve-wracking victory at the end of the game, But it's like I said, it's so reminiscent of that Leicester game, because we thought we were dead and buried in Leicester. Ironically, James Maddison was a part of that game as well, playing for Leicester, and he scored what they thought was their winner. the second goal. So it was so good. It was so good having Mungo United.
Oh my
Ah.
god. My United are being trolled here today, you know.
No, I think the most important thing is I've been talking with Manchester United fans for the last couple of weeks, and I said the same thing. I said, okay, look, for me, the biggest thing is if a manager plays a certain kind of football or a certain kind of way, he has to find a way to translate that to his squad so they can have his identity. And I thought Ten Hag was that guy, but so far I've watched them play. When Louis van Gaal was coach, I could see the Louis van Gaal thing. He has a way of playing. He was doing that. When Mourinho was there, Mourinho was counter. We could see that. But I don't know what Ten Hag's identity for United is. And people say, well, he hasn't gotten his players. But I'm like, no, that's BS. He's been getting players in. He's been moving players out.
Yep.
So I can't see it. But when I look at Tottenham, and I watch all those Celtic matches, I watch all those Yokohama matches. You can just put us side by side on the screen. Tottenham, Celtic, Yokohama Marinos, and you see the same kind of football. You see the same patterns. He hasn't deviated from his style. It's just that the players interpret it in different ways. But we're playing exactly how Celtic were. In fact, Chris Sutton does the predictions for BBC, and Chris Sutton said, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. That they will soon start playing the same way Celtic are, and they will start winning. And when he was predicting the Tottenham, he predicted a 3-0 win. It was like, I told you all. That's what, and in fact, they are ahead of schedule because guess what? They are better quality players than he's had before. So they get the message quicker. And he's only going to improve on more players. And it's like, I think a lot of people get chances. I didn't know that the young lad we bought, Velis, he hadn't trained till this week. He's been injured.
Right.
So he just got on training, and the guy's like, look, not only will he train, I'm going to introduce him into the squad. So another piece of firepower in. Yeah, also, people complained about Eric Dyer was on the bench. Eric Dyer and Lloris are in the 25. I think that's still an Ange decision, even though people said, well, Eric Dyer went to complain to Daniel Levy. Lo and behold, he's on the bench. I don't buy that. I
I
don't
don't
think
buy
Ange
that
will
at
have
all. I don't
anybody
buy
that
that
he
either.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Ange will not have anybody he doesn't need. He's now gotten so much credit in the bank that Levy can't upset him.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
he looked at Dyer. He needs Dyer. I don't know what for, but maybe leadership, maybe
you want
experience,
to try to
maybe
log back
helping the
in.
young
Your
boys.
sound is very poor. I don't know.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Let me go.
Okay. Right. So while we wait for mentioning is that the fact that Ange has built up identity for Tottenham and it's beginning to show. I mean, I will say this over and over again that you can see how Ange wants to play. You can see how he wants to set up. You can see how he likes his teams to play, and everything we've seen so far suggests that that is exactly what the guys are executing, and it's a pleasure to behold because you can just tell that look, Ange has a way of playing. Players are bought into it, and they're executing in such amazing style. I mean, today some of the things didn't really come off because for a variety of reasons, but in the end, persisted and he made the changes at the right time to ensure that those the things he wanted to achieve came into effect. We'll talk about the effect of the substitutions in a minute. But if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave your comments in the comment section below. We'll be happy to add them to the comments and read them out. Yeah. So it says Omanukai says what if rival fans are definitely paying us what if rival fans are definitely paying us some attention? No doubt. I think what he means is rival fans are really paying us attention. Well, which I guess is good in a way, but in another way, I think I mean, Spurs would rather stay under the radar and away from public view, for one of the better expression, so that we sort of keep them guessing, if you like,
Yeah, no, I can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going hands free. Yeah, we should stay under the radar. I agree. I completely agree. Um, I think we've received too much praise in the press recently, and that's why when we were losing, I was like, oh god, this is not a good look for us right now. The
Yeah, I
fact that
mean,
we're losing.
talking about which of how much praise we got in the press so far. I mean, I was reading a piece online, and someone was saying that this is probably the 732,468 posts of where they're praising Ange. You know, I see there's so many of them. You know, you can't lose count. You know, but
You know, we we as well, we all know that putting Ange on your title gets you views. So like it seems everybody's writing Angeball, Ange this, Ange that. Like when I all I have to do is type in Ange as a search thing on YouTube, and I can see at least 100 videos.
wow, wow, wow.
So the power of Ange,
I know, right? I mean, long may it continue. If you're a Tottenham fan,
you
of course,
know.
we'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. And you think how Richarlison is the story of the day for a lot of Spurs fans. He's been denigrated. He's been put under a lot of pressure. You know, a lot of bad things said about him. But today's come off trumps. Even though he came on late, but he delivered when he came on. That's what you can do as a striker. You know, that's all you can do. I mean, he scored a goal and then lay on the pass for the final
For
flourish.
the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's pleasing in more ways than one. So let's have a look at the players and let's see what I mean. If we're going to rank them, if you like, I mean, sort of
Okay.
give player ratings. You know. Now, Vicario. I mean, I thought Vicario, he didn't have much to do, but the one time he had something to do today, he did it very well.
Put his foot out. Brilliant.
Yes, he put his foot out brilliant and he just made that important
Brilliant.
stop. You know,
Brilliant.
he had no chance in the respect of a goal because of how well.
I think he was unsighted for the goal because as the ball player opened, one of the Sheffield United players opened, so he saw it late, and then also Hammer's shot looked like he could have gone out. It's
Yeah,
one of those balls that spins and it hits that post and went in. It could
yeah,
have easily hit the post and come out. So there's nothing he could do.
yeah. So keep your calls, keep your comments coming in. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know where you're watching from. If you want to share this as well, share. If you haven't been here before, it's your first time here, please remember to subscribe, uh, like, and also leave your comments as well. We'd love to hear from you. If you also want to join the broadcast, we're happy to add you onto it if you want. So Vicario, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being poor, 10 being very good, how would you rate him today?
7. He really had nothing to do. We were on top of them. I don't blame him for the goal. I think allowing that ball bounce without clearing it from the first header, that was a mistake. But it's one of those goals that happens, and I don't blame him for that. So 7 out of 10, he did very well. His distribution was quite good, and yeah, he did well. He did well, and then one chance, like you said, that pullback left him wide open. If that player had placed it anywhere else, but he went straight down the throat on his near post, kind of, and he stuck his foot out, and that was a brilliant save with his foot, by the way. So yeah, I give him a 7.
Right, so let's have a look at this. So we have this legend arts where we can just award the marks as we speak, right? So,
Okay.
right, Vicario 7, right?
Yeah, 7.
That's in a minute. Right, while we're talking about that, let's just have a look at Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro playing on the right hand side today, part of the back
Yeah.
four. How would you rate him?
I thought he was decent. I think in this particular game, I think he tried a lot to try to he tried to hit a lot of first time passes early. I'll give him a 6.5. 6.5, 7, because he didn't do anything wrong as well. But I think he tried to attempt his crosses too early. Um, he inverted into midfield to help Bissouma. And I think he was quite good because Bissouma was shadowed a lot. So he ended up being the guy who progressed the ball a bit more, and So I'll give him a 7 as well. Actually, to be honest with you, I think he's a 7. I think Poro is a 7. And you have slash Emerson. Emerson came on, and I think Emerson did a very good job as well. So both of them, I award both of them a 7.
Right. So Emerson and Paulo both score 7. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Romero.
Romero was fine. Romero's fine. Like I think I would personally say, without even commenting on each one, I think the entire back four is a 7 for me because I don't think they put a foot wrong. McBurney didn't really disturb our back line that much. He was a nuisance because he's a physical kind of guy, but really we were just on top of them. The only problem was they were just in a low block. So we were bringing the ball forward. The key was don't get caught out by a long ball. And you can count on one hand how many times they played a long ball either down the channel or straight at our defense, and it got cleared or brought back to their own half. So he's a 7. The entire back for Van der Ven as well. Van der Ven had an issue though where I think he sort of left an elbow in. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has to be quite careful. I think he did that, and I don't think he did it deliberately to hurt the player or anything like that. But any other time, that could be a red card for him. So that was the case. Udogi is a 7. Most of them are getting 7s in my opinion. This is just me. I don't know what you guys think out there. Please put your comments down on. I think they're 7s because we've seen so much now that their displays that are average to us are like before we would have hailed the performance. We're like, no, this is just what Udogi does. And he was quite in the second goal, he ran that ball forward. He was just doing what he does, running in with the ball while Poro stayed close to Bissouma. So he was a 7 as well. Good
Lucy
game, but
says
not
Spurs
outstanding.
were fantastic. Lucy's calling from the UK. What did you think of Solomon?
Lovely.
She says. She also said, "What do you think of Solomon?"
Well,
we'll come to that in a minute.
We'll get to Solomon.
Yeah, we'll get to Solomon in a minute. I concur.
We'll get to Solomon.
Let's just take it one by one. We'd love to hear your ratings as well, Lucy. I mean, so Pape Matessa, tell me.
I would say a 6 for him.
Really?
He put Vicario in a precarious position at the start of the game, if you remember.
Right.
He played a back pass, and the 6 is because I don't think he wants to be as adventurous as he can be, and to me he's not doing more than he should. He should be doing more. He's good at protecting the ball, but I think he should be adding more. He should really be adding more. He should be more of a presence in their box, in my opinion. So the 6 is not that; it's just below his average. He's a 7 all day long, but I think he's just a 6.
Okay.
And then Bissouma.
Wow. I thought Bissouma was immense today. I mean, I don't know about you, but hey, Kaya, tell us what you think.
Yeah. Bissouma started the game. I would say he started slower than he usually does. And one thing is, I think teams are going to try and work out how to stop him getting the ball. Since he's the 6 and he spins and he brings the ball out in build up, I think a lot of teams are going to start targeting him. They're going to have someone marking him or marking the space in and around him. And it took him a while in that first half to figure it out. But then he had that wonderful chance. I don't know if you remember where he weaved in and took the shot. And
yeah, I mean, I thought
he was very, very good at.
Yeah, because
go ahead. Sorry.
Either side of the goal, that would have been a fantastic goal. Really bust into the box and just made that opening and just created a chance. I thought that was actually phenomenal for on this part. And the second half, I just thought he came on really, really strong.
He kept growing. Yeah.
He kept going, and he had this.
He kept on growing. He kept on trying to be forward. He kept on trying to dribble to create space to move forward. And I'll give him an 8. This is just me. I'll give him an 8 for that because that second half and leading into the injury time, extra time, he was phenomenal. He was such a dynamo. Yeah, so I'll give him an 8.
I would actually give him a 9, actually, but hey, let's settle for 8.5. Yes.
Okay, let's settle for 8.5. I'm okay 8.5. I'm okay 8.5.
Right, Madison. Lots of comments coming in. We'll look at them in a minute, but yeah. Let's just say,
Ah,
um,
Madison was neat, tidy. He tried a lot of things that he should have gotten a penalty because he was taken down, but I think the referee thought he went down too easy.
too easy. Yeah.
But if that had been anywhere else on the pitch, he would have gotten a free kick. So if it's in a box, it's a penalty. Um, but Madison spread play very, very well. He really tried to connect. He came in very deep to collect the ball. It's just that their low block was just too strong. So he too gave. I think he gave like a 7.5. I would say 7.5 game. He was ticking. He was still moving the ball. He too was also looking for progressive passes as well, which is huge for me. So I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5.
Right.
What do you think?
Fantastic. So 7.5 for Mr. Madison. I don't disagree. I think that's fair enough. And yeah, keep the comments coming in. Now, Kulusevski. Right. I think Lucy has a comment on Kulusevski. Let's see what Lucy has to say.
What did she
She thought
say?
Lucy thought Kulu was okay, but Johnson needs to be there next game. That's interesting.
So the issue with Kulusevski, I think, all of us have come to this conclusion is he's a bit predictable and he's too slow to be a fast number fast winger. Um, so Brennan Johnson, I think this game would have probably have suited him more, and then Kulu could play centrally, which is what happened at the end of the game as well. Watch when Brennan Johnson came in and they kept feeding him and he kept running in. He had a chance where of course, he fouled the defender to get the cross in. But it's
Mm-hmm.
that kind of hustle, bustle, quickness that was needed in this game. But Kulusevski, once again, I think Kulusevski has been doing sevens the entire season because as much as you want to say he's predictable, he hasn't done anything. He figures. He either he's taking part in a set of passes or key passes that lead to a goal, or he's scoring, or he's kind of semi-assisting or hockey assisting. In this game, he scores the winner. So I think that absolves him of everything else. Is the fact that you want end product from Kulusevski. He gave you end product today. So I'll give him a nice 7.
Okay. Kulusevski gets a 7. That's a fair enough assessment. I agree with you, but don't forget that he scored a goal as well. Which he
Yeah,
scored the
no, so
winner.
that yeah. so maybe that gives him a 0.5. So
Absolutely,
7.5.
I would give him a 7.5
Seven and a
actually.
half. I'll give it
Just
7.5. Can't
for the goal analysis. Right. Son.
Son today was quite interesting. He had that shot where he curled the ball around the keeper. He tried. They kept throwing themselves at his feet. They didn't allow him any space in behind.
Yeah.
And I think he did very well. He led the line well, and like you said, we had chances to, but every little thing was either blocked or just as that final pass was coming in, they throw themselves at it. So Son was a 7. Richarlison coming on for him. This was the game that was built for Richarlison. And Richarlison coming and scoring based on what Richarlison has been through and all the challenges that we are aware of, and the fact that some of the fans are already on his back. People are saying it's a waste of money, or he's never a striker in a million years. And to come from that adversity, to use it as a springboard to score and then assist the winner and still make forward runs, even to the end of the game, you're still trying to continue. Uh, for their combination, I'll give them an 8.5 or a 9. Son and Richarlison, I'll give them that, but mainly because of Richarlison, I'll give Richarlison an 8.59 because
All right, I'm giving
he's
Richarlison a
overcome a
9,
mental
honestly,
block.
for that's just what he did in the game today. For the result, that's what it's there for, to score goals and and he created
Score
goals
and
as
yeah,
well.
you score. You score the assist is a 9. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I agree a 9. I agree a
that's
9.
that's 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 for me. Now Lucy says Bissouma started quite heavy-footed, but later in the second half he came more alive. So she was
Spot
going
on.
to give Bissouma a 7. I think Lucy, don't you think you're a little bit mean there? I mean, I would have given Bissouma a little bit more, but hey, that's
If Brennan Johnson had checked his run, that ball was from Bissouma to him. Was that goal he scored that got disallowed? If he had checked his run, that's an assist for Bissouma.
true.
That was
True.
very quick thinking as well. Like I said, he was driving us forward. So I'm okay giving Bissouma more than 7. I'm way okay giving it. But Lucy, well, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, Lucy. I understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
And, that,
we
and now we come to her candidate, Solomon.
right. Say again.
No, we've come to Lucy's candidate, Solomon.
Absolutely. Yeah. Solomon. Right. So yes, Solomon. What did we think of Solomon? Tell me.
I
Ah.
you already know I'm a Solomon fan. I think he offers a different dimension in wing play for Spurs than Kulusevski does. And I think the only thing I would say is kind of a con for him is he also cuts into his right foot when I think, and he can use his left, not as well as his right, but he's quite good. I think he's better with his left than Kulusevski is with his right. And I thought he could have gone outside a bit more to try and get crosses in with his left. Cutting back to his right denies him a bit, but I thought he was really good. I thought he was.
Yeah,
I
I
thought.
thought it was good as well. There was a few chances that he
Yeah,
created, and he also had a
yeah,
few shots on
yeah,
goal as well.
yeah. So yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Some of them didn't come out because either they got deflected or got blocked. As one that
Yeah,
he sort of put wide, but by and large he kept being a threat. He kept being a threat. And someone was saying earlier on before we scored that we're about to score a goal, even though the goal didn't come when they said we're about to score, but you see that with the amount of pressure we were mounting, with the amount of chances we were creating, it was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. I know we ended up winning the game, and even though it didn't look like we were going to get anything from it after they scored late, and it was coming up to final whistle, 90 minutes gone. We only scored, I think, the fourth minute into the into stoppage time. I think no, it was actually the
yeah,
7 minutes stoppage time actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, 7 minutes into stoppage time, and then you scored 3 minutes after that, I think, as well.
yeah, yeah. So that was really really powerful from us. Powerful, I mean, yeah. So Solomon, what would you give him?
With Solomon, I'll give Solomon 7.5. I thought that was a good 7.5 for him.
Okay,
Um,
Lucy.
if
It
if
will
he
be
had if he
interesting
had
to
a
hear what Lucy has to give for Solomon.
exactly.
I agree with Chuma that we'll give him 7.5, but let's hear from you, Lucy. What do you think? Brennan Johnson, what would you give him?
Oh, Brennan Johnson, I think for him, I'll give him a 7 because he came on and he was just impactful. He just kept running at them, and anything that would keep them facing their own goal is perfect for me. And in any other world, if we were more composed, I think he could have been played in and he could have scored. He scored a goal that was disallowed. He tried to get a cross in, but he fouled the player just before he crossed in, and that would have been another goal for us. I think he was very lively. I think he looks like he can give us an extra dimension, and I understand why. Uh, Ange put him in. He was welcome. He was welcome legs running at them. So I'll give him a 7. It was a good debut for him.
Right. So all in all, I think we've done quite well. Adedeji Oluwatosin says, "What a match! Indeed, persistence, mindset on display." Yep, that sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed,
He seems to be one
indeed.
of your fans, eh? He's always commenting
uh,
about how great a pundit Chuma is.
Thank you very much, Deji, and I appreciate it, man. I really do. Everything is learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. Yeah. So Vicario 7, Toro and Emerson 7 each. Romero 7, Van der Vel 7, Udogie 7, Sa a 6, Bisuma 8.5, Madison 7.5. And the front line we have Lushevsky 7.5, Son 7, Richarlison 9, Mana Solomon 7.5, and Brennan Johnson 7. Now, overall for the team, what would you give the team? We didn't say anything
Um,
about PME, Herberg, and Perisic.
no,
Sorry.
Hoiberg and Perisic. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about them, but I'll give both of them. I'll give Perisic an 8 because Perisic assisted. Um,
Yeah,
Perisic
for the goal.
assisted the
For the
corner for the goal for
yeah.
Richarlison, and he was part of the build-up that led to he and Højbjerg were part of the build-up that led to the winner. So once again, he kept on going. He kept on attempting crosses. You can see why Perisic is useful because he comes in left foot, he's crossing, unlike Solomon having to cut his right. I think I can understand Ange was like, okay, go with your natural foot. I would like to think that when Brian Hill is fit, Brian Hill could be that guy who comes on instead of Perisic. And Perisic could possibly even come on Kulusevski's wing as well. So it'll be quite interesting. But I give him an 8 because he assisted and he was quite useful. I'll give Højbjerg a 7 because he got everything to calm down and he allowed Bissouma go forward a bit more. So I'll give him a 7, but I'll give Perisic an 8. The team in general. Um, if we had drawn this game, I would have given them a 7, but I give them a 9 out of 10 because of mindset. It takes a strong winning mindset to be able to gather momentum at the end when everything looks lost, and they kept going. They kept going. So, Ange, I'd give a 9. Wonderful substitution, and the team I'd give a 9 as well because we could have easily lost this game any other time in history. Spurs are losing this match. So what a wonderful thing that we didn't.
Absolutely fantastic. So Pierre, I mean Højbjerg 7 as well, right?
Yeah.
Right, and for the team 9, and for Mr. Postecoglou 9. I'm loving Big Ange instead.
Everybody's loving Big Ange, and yeah, and also like you said, he's breaking down hoodoos every day, and none more than this one. I heard the commentator say, "Well, he hasn't lost a game in over 3 years or 4 years," and and
A
I
home
and I
game,
felt
you
what he
mean?
was saying was yeah, he's never lost a home league home game. You have to
Yeah,
qualify that. I think he's lost cup matches. But I think what they were leading to, or they were alluding to, was taking Spurs to break that record. The
I
same
know,
thing with
right?
like I think we did
Yeah,
the same. We did
obviously
the same to
Spurs
we
for
did the
a
same to
couple of matches, and
Mourinho.
that record is gone.
Yeah, I think we did the same thing to Mourinho. I think Mourinho had a record like that where he doesn't lose in the first how many months or whatever of any team. He never loses a home match, and we lost that. Conte too had another record as well. I think we ruined that for him. So I was just thinking, oh my god, I can imagine how the pylon would be that. Well, Ange has just got Spursied or Spursed up, or all these different things, and it's always wonderful when you can change it. Richie Boy got a 9, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Richie Boy
agree.
got a
Totally
9.
agree. Totally agree. I'm agree. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yes, that's fantastic. I
it's
mean,
a great way for Richie to end his week after the internationals, after all the noise. I think he'll come into training like running, like he'll run miles, and also the fact that his manager backed him. His manager said wonderful words to him, and his manager. I would think after the game. I don't know if you saw the pictures after the game when they were going to celebrate to the fans, and Son was pushing him forward that you should stay in front.
yeah,
You're the one that got us back into this game.
yeah.
These things are the things that are adding to that young man's psyche and
Confidence.
mindset that I think are going to make him something. People have written him off. A lot of people I know have written him off. Shout out to Spurs forever, Eric. Eric is a Eric is a loyal Richarlison fan, and he like myself. We both know that this guy is a very good player, regardless of what people say, and it's coming. It's coming. Unlike the other ones who we've had players that everyone says is good. When you try and give them chances, they don't perform. This guy, you can see he's trying. He's really trying, and yeah, he's way better than Soldado. So
Oh, not in the same league at all. Not in the same league at all. And a great victory. Great victory. I mean, it sets us up nicely. Second on the table, behind City, equal on points with Liverpool. That's 13 points from 5 matches. Not a bad
yeah,
return. The best Spurs start
indeed.
since 1960. What you know, quite remarkable. Good start, and we hope
Yeah.
a long may it continue. And next up, those guys away, eh? That's
well,
probably the first real, well, the second test, if you like. we've had a test against Man United, which we came out on top, and then we now have the test against the boys up the road. And yes, we're looking forward to that. We'll share a preview in the coming week, and hopefully, yes, guys would love to hear from you. If you're watching this live, obviously leave your comments. Watch this as a recording. By all means, also leave your comments as well. We'd love to hear from you and see what you think about this match. I mean, coming up as winners, coming from behind at home, and late stoppage time win is just demonstrates character, demonstrates strength of top notch positive mindset. It's really 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 a big turning point in the way that I think Spurs will do. I mean, you can't do a confidence anything but good. I mean, in the coming months, What do you reckon?
Indeed. No, I agree. And also the style in which we did it. Usually at the end of the game, what happens? We all watch English football. It's long balls into the box, long balls into the box. We were still playing on the ground, still playing on the front foot, trying to get people in behind, cutbacks. And the winner resulted from a combination play within 3-4 players in the box goal. It was no long balls, it was no anything or trying to be physical. We were still playing Ange's style of football to the end. And that, like you said in the last match where the commentator said they've all bought into Ange, this is yet another one. They've all bought in. And
it's
that long
interesting
may
you say that,
continue.
because the commentary I was listening to said exactly the same thing, that you find that in matches of this nature where they're trying to get a goal towards the end of the match, right? A lot of teams launch balls forward.
But City are the only ones that don't, he said. I think he said
Exactly.
City don't. Yes, I heard that as well.
Yeah.
City are the ones that don't. They keep their shape. That's why they win. They don't change. They don't deviate from the plan.
Yeah.
And look at Spurs, not deviating from the plan, trying to play through, trying to move players into attacking position. Brilliant. And once again, looking forward to match of the day as always.
Absolutely.
5 weeks in a row looking forward to match of the day. when last have we said that as Spurs fans?
All right. So in summary, Spurs break another hoodoo of not not playing well after the manager has won the manager of the month competition, right? A break,
international break,
not playing well after the international break hoodoo as well,
Yep.
And last week we broke the hoodoo of not playing well after when you kick about 12:30. So Ange keeps breaking hoodoos and generational curses.
and this is for our rivals down the road. We've not won at their ground for a while, and it's a hoodoo that's held us down. Same with Chelsea as well. Chelsea should be waiting for us as well, but that's too far ahead. And only goes one game at a time, so we'll go one game at a time. We have a hoodoo at the Emirates Stadium. Could it be that we break that too?
Absolutely. We very much look forward to that. And thank you so much, Chuma. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. It's always been fantastic having you.
Thank you so much. So I apologize for coming late, and then also the way I sound as well. I'm just
okay.
celebrating Angeball can come with consequences.
Tonight in you, but hey, I know. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and come on, you Spurs.
Thank you, guys. Come on, you Spurs.